Hello, people of the internet. My name is Nick from City Magic, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile on birds. It's just a viable rogue deck, so yeah. And it's the only deck that I even bother to know how to play in this format, so let's run right through it. 3 Vanishing, it's the Goblin Burger of the deck. You gotta play it at 3. It's honestly one of the best monsters to open with, so you gotta play it at 3. 3 Tribute Lanius, this is like the one that you need to open. Your hands without this are just really bad. It lets you foolish a Raidraptor, so most of the time you're going to foolish your 3 Mimicry to search out any card in the deck. Like, this literally searches any card in the deck if the turn it's sent to the graveyard. So Nest, Readiness, or any of the monsters you can easily get to. And if you open him, he's got 1900 defense, so it's not that easy to kill. Most of the time they have to go in their extra deck to do it. Then that's it for the 3-ofs. Too fuzzy. This card's trash. If you're playing it at 3, you're doing it wrong. Like, you just are. You don't need that. You don't need the extra name Raidraptor. You just don't. It restricts you too heavily. Call is bad. Cattle call is bad. This is bad. They restrict your plays too much. So you only played at 2. 2 last tricks. This is a card you could play at 3. I'm choosing not to play it at 3 just because it's a little bricky. It lets you make Ultimate Falcon. It lets you make 7 Sins. Like, this is a 1-card 7 Sins combo, so I'll have to probably show that to you at the end of the video. 2 Sharp Lanius, my favorite monster in the deck. He can switch a monster to his battle position from attack to defense the turn he summoned, and then if he attacks, he doesn't have to kill something, he doesn't have to deal damage, he just has to attack, he can revive any Raidraptor. So if they out your Ultimate Falcon with, like, Utopia the Lightning, then you can just bring the Falcon back and then kill Utopia the Lightning. And then 1 Singing Lanius and Pain Lanius, I've gone over this already, they just extend your Force Strix boards. So if you've already made 1 Force Strix, odds are you're making a second Force Strix, so... Or you can make Castel with this card, because it can be used for any Wing Beast, so... Most of the time you're going to go double Force Strix. So that's it for the monsters, 17 monsters. Nothing I would really change about the monster lineup, maybe Max C's, but I'm not worried about that, so... For spells, 3 Skip Force, best rank up ever printed, don't question me, best rank up ever printed. It revives your monsters and lets you make Ultimate Falcon. The card's titties. 3 Astral Force, the second best rank up in the game. It lets you get it back from the grave instead of drawing, but it's the only special summon you get this turn is the Astral Force, so it's really just there. If you already have like a satellite on board and it's hit with like a Phoenix Chain or a Lose a Turn, you can Astral Force, make Ultimate Falcon, it's unaffected by the traps, and it can just start swinging, so. 2 Allure. You could play this at 3, I just don't think it's necessary at 3. Plus, I don't even have a third one, so there's that. I like it at 2, but you could play it at 3 if you wanted to. This is a card that is very interchangeable. 2 Swallow's Nest. This card is amazing. You attribute a Wing Beast to get a Wing Beast out of your deck with the same level, so you can normal summon your Mimicry Lanius if you're going first. Activate Swallow's Nest, tribute it. Get a Tribute Lanius. You can use this to search out any Raidraptor card, so you can either get Pain or Fuzzy, and then all of a sudden you have a Force Strix, so... And it lets you OTK, like if you have 4 monsters on field, you can go attack, 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 and then still in battle phase, Swallow's Nest. Or if you brick, and you open Pain Lanius rank up, which does happen a few times, you can go Pain Lanius, activate Nest, tribute it, summon out your last Strix, and then all of a sudden you have Ultimate Falcon or 7 Sins. It's an amazing card, I recommend playing it in birds, or at least testing it out. I found it very successful. And it's one of the first cards you side out, so... 1 Upstart because 39 cards, 1 Day of Peace because I don't want to die, and 1 Raidraptor Nest because its effect's only once per turn, and it's searchable, so you don't need to play it at any more than 1. So that does it for spells. I'm playing 13 spells. Nothing I'd change about the spell lineup. All the other rank ups are trash, but once we hit the side deck, you'll see why I'm running the rank ups that I'm running, so... The traps are a little weird, so I'm probably going to have to explain my choices. 3 Raptor's Gust. I'm really liking this card, this format. If you control a Raidraptor, you can negate any spell and trap, and it's not once per turn. So if your opponent, like if you go to make your Force Strixes, and your opponent has like a strike, you can Raptor's Gust it. If you get Twin Twistered, you can Raptor's Gust it. If they go Pot of Desires, if they're really trying to dig for combo pieces, you can Raptor's Gust it. Like, it's just a really good card. So, and like, it's good going first, but if you're going second, this is one of the first cards I usually side out unless my opponent is running like 2 or 3 spells that hurt me. In that case, I'll usually keep 1 in. I just wish it said Raidraptor Gust, because then this card would be searchable and it would be busted. 2 Icarus attack. Great for blowing up pendulum scales, great for blowing up monsters, great for blowing up back row at the end of your opponent's turn. Just great for solving problems, and it can put your birds in the graveyard. 2 readiness. Busted card. Your Raidraptors can't die by battle. You can banish it from the grave if there's a Raidraptor in the grave to take no damage. This card saves me so many times. It can extend the game. In time, it's to where your opponent can't win if you have higher life points. It's great. And then for the staples, Solemn, Bottomless, and Torrential. That does it for the main deck, 40 cards. Nothing I'd really change. Maxis maybe, but that's not something I'm worried about. 40 card main deck, obviously. Moving on to the extra deck. I'm playing 3 copies of Force Strix because this card is pretty good. It's one of your main plays. You could play it at 2, but I would recommend playing it at 3 because you literally will open hands that make 3 Force Strix. And then you have 3,000 defense monsters that can't die. Rhapsody and Berserk for Blue Eyes and to make my Force Strix bigger. Blade Burner comes in, say, if you activate like Upstart and whatnot and you make yourself lose life points. But like you can summon it, it'll have 4,000 attack and you can basically solve any problem in the game. Dweller for Blue Eyes, BA, stuff like that. Gagaga Samurai because there's an OTK with this card. It's not a very good OTK, but it's an OTK nonetheless. Castel and Zero Fine are the best rank 4s in the extra deck that aren't Force Strix. They're Wing Beasts, so they have inherent synergy with the deck. Castel can solve any problem. It can solve Shadow Mirror, Vanity's Emptiness, Skill Drain, lose a turn, anything that can just like shit on you, he can solve. And Zero Fine, she's the fucking titties. negate all your opponent's stuff, gain attack, and they can't do anything.
What's with you and titties?
Because it's a fucking bird. 1 Ragnar 0 because, you know, Ultimate Falcon makes him lose attack, so if you have Ultimate Falcon plus this, you get a free draw every turn. And then I'm playing one of each of the big birds. You don't need it. There's too much, like, they clog your extra deck. You just don't need to. And there's so much reviving and recovery in this deck that you only need 1. And because I'm playing one of each, it allowed me to fit room for the 7 Sins combo. You can throw Pain Gainer on either top of Satellite or Ultimate, usually Ultimate. Then you make Pain Gainer, then you can make 7 Sins. And since 7 Sins will have 2 materials on it, you can banish your opponent's board.
Twice.
So it literally just solves the problems. And the majority of the time, you're using a Force Strix with it, so it'll have 4 materials. And then you can just banish their board again next turn if they make another board and make a recovery play. So that's it for the extra deck, 15 cards. You could easily play multiple copies of the big birds, but I just don't think you need to. I just think you need to focus on rank 4 control. That's the way you kind of have to play the deck right now. But anyway, for the side deck, 2 copies of Flying Sea to deal with mirror matches, to deal with BA, any rogue deck that likes to XC summon a lot, so Teller Knight and whatnot. And then I'm citing 2 rank up Magic Soul Shave Force and a Constellar Ptolemy M7. The reason you do this is for going second against Pendulum decks. Because they're going to go first, they're going to set their strikes and whatever. You're going to try and make 4 Strixes, they're going to die. You're going to Soul Shave it back, make an M7, bounce their monsters, and you can start attacking. You could basically play any rank 6 in the spot, I just choose M7, because it can buy back your hand traps like Flying Sea, buy back your birds, it's a really good card. But you could easily play in Infinity instead. 2 Dark Hole, solves problems. Your opponent goes for their board, you Dark Hole him, Ultimate Falcon's unaffected, 7 Sins protects itself, so there's that. 2 Chalice. Fuck my opponent's monster effects. Vanity's Fiend, go kill yourself. Mash's Fiend, go kill yourself. Alternative, go kill yourself. Spirit, go kill yourself. You see where I'm going with this? Good card. Recommend it. 2 Spell Shattering Arrow. Fuck you, Metal Foe. Fuck you, Pendulum Deck. Fuck you, everything.
Okay.
2 Rivalry of Warlords. This is for going first against Rogue. In some meta decks, like PK Fire, struggle a little bit with it, but they have Break Sword and Gramples to pop it. So I only like it against like BA Infernoid where they're only outs like Petrulia. I like it against rogue decks. Stuff like Madolche where their types are all over the place. Stuff like
Barrier Statues?
most of them they only need 1 monster though. But I guess against Barrier Statues you can side this in.
Evil Swarm?
Evil Storm you can side in. Again, just like rogue decks for going first. And some meta decks. You could side this in theory against ABC. But they go for
had it.
when they make ABC Buster Dragon, but I don't recommend it. Last card in the deck, 2 Pendulum Hole. Again, fuck you, Pendulum decks. I don't want you to play this game, so. Again, a lot of these cards you only side in going first.
Explain Pendulum Hole, because I don't get that. Why don't you just play, like, you know, Grand One or something?
Alright, well, Grandhorn to me, the only thing I ever used Grandhorn for was Pendulum Summons. That's like the one thing that I hated the most. And now that this card's out, there's no reason to play Grandhorn, really. Unless you wanted to get, like,
What's the difference? I mean, don't we do the same thing necessarily?
Well, I mean, with Grandhorn, though, Grandhorn has a little more application because it can end your opponent's turn if used correctly. But, like, this card does the same thing, and it doesn't give them a card. I liked Grandhorn in Heroes because you could
What
go...
about, like, Time Space or, like, Bottomless or something?
I'm already playing Bottomless. Time Space costs you life points. And you don't want to do that. Chaos Trapple is good, but I don't think you need it, so there's that. You could play any other card if you wanted to. You can build the deck the way you want to build it. This is just the way that I've got it. It's the way I like it right now. It's the way that I think works the best. The way that's giving me the most results, so... I'll make you guys another deck profile of this deck the night before the regional to see if I'm going to change the build. I'm going to try not to because I really like this build, but if I find another build that I like or one that does well, then I'll play that, but we'll see. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. If you tell me to kill myself, I'm going to tell you to kill yourself, so don't. And that's about it. So, my name is Nick from Rose City Magic. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Fuck.